Hello and welcome to CurleySausageKitchen.com. I'm the owner, Keith Curley, along with my wife Tammy. We sell sausage seasoning, smokehouses, stuffers, meat processing equipment, to the home processor, the deer hunter, and the backyard chef. Today we're going to be making Kato salami. It kind of falls in the summer sausage category, which we do sell a summer sausage seasoning, a salami seasoning, which also would fall in that category, and also the Kato salami seasoning. And we do have a new one that's a summer sausage with jalapeno peppers, which is quite good. So, okay, today we're going to make 10 pounds of Kato salami. And all of our seasonings, by the way, do come with cure instructions and everything that you need to make at home. So I went ahead and the meat's already ground. We're making 10 pounds. We're using beef and pork. You sure can use venison, pork, venison beef, bear meat, goat meat. You could use any kind of meat that you want. When you're using the venison sausage, I advise go 60% deer, 40% beef or pork, or maybe 70% deer and 30% deer and pork. That would give you a nice kind of a sausage. But today we're making it all out of beef and pork. And I had the meat already ground from the previous video that we did. So, like I said, the beef's already ground and the pork's already ground. So we're going to go ahead and dump it into the meat mixer. Let me get it over here where we can... the meat mixer is another option. You can sure mix it by hand. I've did it that way many a years. But once you buy the mixer, you wonder why you got by it without it. They do come. Mixers you can hook up to your grinders. This is just a little 20-pounder, but it seems to work best when you only put a 10 pounds in at a time, 10 or 15. Okay, we got that kind of busted up a little bit. Hello and welcome to CurleySausageKitchen.com. I'm the owner, Keith Curley, along with my wife Tammy. We sell sausage seasoning, smokehouses, stuffers, meat processing equipment, to the home processor, the deer hunter, and the backyard chef. Today we're going to be making Kato salami. It kind of falls in the summer sausage category, which we do sell a summer sausage seasoning, a salami seasoning, which also would fall in that category, and also the Kato salami seasoning. And we do have a new one that's a summer sausage with jalapeno peppers, which is quite good. So, okay, today we're going to make 10 pounds of Kato salami. And all of our seasonings, by the way, do come with cure instructions and everything that you need to make at home. So I went ahead and the meat's already ground. We're making 10 pounds. We're using beef and pork. You sure can use venison, pork, venison beef, bear meat, goat meat. You could use any kind of meat that you want. When you're using the venison sausage, I advise go 60% deer, 40% beef or pork, or maybe 70% deer and 30% deer and pork. That would give you a nice kind of a sausage. But today we're making it all out of beef and pork. And I had the meat already ground from the previous video that we did. So, like I said, the beef's already ground and the pork's already ground. So we're going to go ahead and dump it into the meat mixer. Let me get it over here where we can... the meat mixer is another option. You can sure mix it by hand. I've did it that way many a years. But once you buy the mixer, you wonder why you got by it without it. They do come. Mixers you can hook up to your grinders. This is just a little 20-pounder, but it seems to work best when you only put a 10 pounds in at a time, 10 or 15. Okay, we got that kind of busted up a little bit. Okay, we got the meat kind of broke down up in here. What I like to do, I have the seasoning for 10 pounds already weighed out. So we're just gonna, what I like to do is add half the seasoning and half the water at first. So we're just gonna kind of dump some of it in here. Then you gotta have what's very important, which is called the sodium nitrite. We call ours Sure Cure. It only takes 1 ounce for 25 pounds. And excuse me, I have it weighed out for the 10-pound batch. The easiest way to, when you're making smaller batches, it just, for a 5-pound batch, it takes a level teaspoon of the pink stuff. So, I mean, don't have it heaping full. It's just a level. Make sure you use a measuring teaspoon for each 5 pounds. So, if you're making 10 pounds like we are today, you would want to use 2 teaspoons of the Sure Cure, the pink stuff, which is has the correct amount of sodium nitrite, which is probably the most important part of ingredient in sausage making. Okay. So we're just going to kind of sprinkle about half or so on there. Like that. Lay it off to the side. And you got to add your water, which we're only going to add half of it right now. Okay. And start mixing it. I like to go kind of one way and back the other. And the meat kind of gets stuck on the sides. I kind of like to kind of push that down there. Like I said, you can sure do this by hand. I've did it for years. The mixer just seems like it takes a lot of the work out of it. Okay, that's kind of like I like her. So now we're going to add the rest of the seasoning. The rest of the Sure Cure, which has the correct amount of sodium nitrite, which is very, very important. And that's why it has a pink in color, is so that it stands out, that you don't forget to add it. Okay, we're going to add the rest of the water. Okay, and we're going to mix. The longer you mix, the meat will start getting kind of a darker cured color. And also the meat will get kind of nice and sticky, kind of tacky, and that's what you want. What you're actually doing is extracting the protein from the meat, and that's what, with the salt from the seasoning, that's what causes that. And that's what makes it such a sticky. And if it's not mixed correctly, you will have a sausage that is crumbly, kind of off color. So the mixing of meat is very, very important. And again, I like to kind of scrape it off the sides. Okay, we've been mixing here. Usually I like to go about 5-8 minutes or so, depending on how big of a batch of sausage you got in here. But like I said, you reach in there and grab a pile of meat, and that meat should stick to your hand. If it falls out, see how that sticks there? If it falls out because it's too much water, not being extracted yet, your meat's not mixed fairly yet. So meat mixing is a very important part of love sausage making. Okay, we're gonna stuff this. I use a 5-pound stuffer. Usually when I make sausage, I make 10, 15 pound, 20 pounds at a time. A lot of the deer hunters, of course, will make 100 pounds at a time or whatever, so you can get bigger stuffers. But for me, the 5-pound is just fine. But I could see if a guy was to make 75 pounds or something, and that would be a lot of reloading. But then again, more money, so... okay, we're going to go ahead and fill this up. It'll take about two loads. The third one will only be about a pound or two in there. Okay. Also, when I was kind of packing, make sure you pack that down in there nice and tight. Kind of get the air pockets out of there. Okay. Slide that on there. Okay, we're going to stuff these into fibrous, what I call a 1-pound chub casing. They're mahogany in color. They are perforated, which means there's really super tiny holes inside here, so smoke can penetrate them. These casings come in all different sizes. We sell a 2.5 by 20, which stuffs about 2.5 pounds. But today we're just going to stuff them into the nice 1-pound chubs that a lot of people like. You need to soak your casings in water for 15 to 20 minutes or so before you stuff your sausage. Kind of makes them a little more pliable and easy to use. Okay, so we're just going to slide that casing on there. Another thing too, today we're going to use what's called hog rings, sausage rings with the pliers. This one is a spring-loaded pliers. What's nice about that, you can lay it down, and because it's spring-loaded, the hog ring does not fall out. So it's ready when you need it. Now you want to take your forefinger and your thumb there and just kind of get that just as tight as can be. That'll make it a nice, better looking sausage. Then when I get down to the end, when it's full, I'll usually kind of back off half a crank or so. Okay. And I want to turn it where it's nice and tight. Take your casing ring. There you got yourself a nice tight fitting 1-pound Kato salami. Need to put the ring back in, lay it down. Like I say, try to get it nice and tight. It'll make for a better eating sausage. Turn that nice and tight. There you go. One thing too, I do want to show you where you can use without using the hog rings. Just take a piece of cotton string, about 8 long. Go ahead and stuff your sausage. Nice and tight. But I don't quite go as far to the end. I'm gonna back off a little bit. And take that string easier. That's better. And come back. I usually go 1, 2 grannies, and just pull that tight. And you're always going to have some that squeeze out, which you can restuff, which is no big deal. And just take your knife and cut off the excess here. And there you have the same kind of sausage, nice and tight, just like using the sausage rings. Okay, we're getting down to the end of our sausage here. I'll go ahead and stuff this last one out. Put a ring on it here. Once I have all the sausage stuffed, it's real important that you put it in a plastic bag or a pan or something and let it cure overnight. You do not want to put it directly in the smokehouse. It needs to be sit overnight for the meat to cure. That is very, very important. So we'll show you how to smoke the sausage tomorrow. So thank you for visiting CurleySausageKitchen.com.